how can we manage our son's frustration while standing firm on our no sleepover rule?
No sleepover rule. Okay, how old's your son?
He is 12, almost 13.
So I want to applaud your stance on no sleepovers. There's literature that exists about the increased sexual predator, like just madness. There's also, anecdotally, I just can't tell you the number of people who had incidents at sleepovers.
Mm-hmm.
Like our team was talking before this call just about sleepovers, and everybody's got stories. All of us, right?
Yep.
So I'm 100% behind you. I think no sleepover rule is fantastic. And we'll get into a little bit of the downstream stuff, but I want to answer your big question up front. You cannot manage the frustration of a 12-year-old. You can't. And to try to do that is futile. What you can say every single day of his life is my job is to keep you safe and my job is to love you.
Yeah.
And that comes with some of these hard decisions. And I always give my kids permission to tell their friends that their dad's a moron, outdated idiot. I don't need him. I always felt the need, and my dad never said this explicitly, but I always felt the need to protect my parents when they gave me these, what I thought at the time were crazy boundaries with my 13 or 14-year-old brain. I don't want my kids to ever feel like they have to protect me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So tell your friends that your dad's the worst, that your dad's lame. That's no skin off my nose. Right?
Yeah.
And then occasionally, maybe your house becomes the sleepover house. But that's a conversation for after 12.
Yeah. Yeah. We've had those conversations where we are totally open to the sleepovers at our house, but that kind of makes me feel a little hypocritical with
because it's not, because the concept isn't sleepover. The concept is environment.
Right. It's our values.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so I can tell you, like when we used to let my kids go over to, like, we'll come pick you up at midnight or pick you up at 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, make no mistake, awkward or not, my wife was calling, and only because I was at work, my wife would call and say, hey, my kid can go over there, but there can't be any phones. No kids can have phones.
Mm-hmm.
And can I tell you something crazy? Oh, this is just this limited friend group. 100% of them took up all the phones when the kids came over. They just did it. Yeah. And if they were like, well, then your kid can't come over, then great. I don't want my kid over there anyway.
Yeah.
But they did that. And hey, my kid isn't watching these kind of movies. Awesome. Done. Next. Right? Mm-hmm. And so it was all, it was super good. And I'm going to tell you, maybe 13, I don't remember exactly when, but I've allowed it. I've allowed it twice.
Mm-hmm.
And it was with a family that I trust implicitly. It was with a family that has the same electronics rule. And here's the bigger one. It was a family where most people get mistaken on where things happen at sleepovers is often it's not the parents and it's not the kid and it's not the kid they're sleeping over with. It's that kid's older brother or sister who has a friend over, right?
Yeah.
That's what
I'm laughing because that's exactly, we know the dangers. We know it's the friend that comes over that we don't know who has a smartphone, and it's when the parents go to sleep at night, like, does the smartphone get taken out? What's my kid being exposed to? Or
worse, hey, let's play a game.
Yeah.
And that friend's 17 and your kid's 12.
Yep.
Let's play a game. And now we're in a big mess.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I don't feel any sort of hypocrisy. Number one, again, this is easy for me to say, right? If other parents don't like me, I'm okay with that. I have my friends, or if they don't understand me, if they want to ask me, I'll be happy to explain it. But I have no problem saying, as for me and my house, we don't do X, Y, and Z. And by the way, most of my friends give their kids smartphones, and they know my stance on smartphones.
Mm-hmm.
Every friend I have has a credit card, and they know that I opted out of the credit system, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every friend I have is a Ford family, and I drive Toyota, right? So, like, I was just saying in another episode, one of my best friends on the planet is a banker. And other than this show, I co-host a show about getting people out of debt. Every day I go to work trying to get people to not use my best friend's business. And every day he goes to work and tries to convince people that I'm a goofball. And we still love each other, right? So I don't feel like I need to explain my values. I will if somebody asks about them, but if you don't like my values, and you're so dumb, and that's super great. I'm not going to sleep over you. You don't get a vote in my life. And so one of my values for my kids is I want them in not risky situations. When we do have sleepovers at our house, dude, they're out in the woods. I don't know where they are. I know they're not in a city playing chicken in the middle of the highway like I used to, but I know they're in the woods, and they're probably playing some form of chicken because that's what they do, but it's probably, I bet you won't jump in that huge hole in that creek or whatever. I'm okay with a broken leg. I'm not okay with a kid getting blasted across a highway, right? You get what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not about not taking risks. I'll see them climbing trees or sword fighting each other with crazy, like, I'm not about that. I'm all about that. This is going to sound crazy. I think kids need more broken hands and fingers and arms. Like they're not risking anything. It's that I will control the safety environment. And that's for me. And so as for me in my house, I know that when people are at my house, they don't have access to the Wi-Fi and they won't have access to smartphones. And I know that there's not going to be somebody's friends, other brothers, sisters, cousins show up that suddenly says, hey, y'all want to play a game? I can control that. And over time, if there's 1 or 2 families or 3 families that you begin to trust there, I'm all cool with that.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have an exception where, we don't have family close by. And so we have, a family at church that we share the same values, and we have let both of our boys go over and stay at their house. And that's mostly for us, like if there's ever an emergency where they need to stay somewhere, they feel comfortable there.
Sure.
So we have that exception.
And it can be fun too. It can be fun too, right? It can be fun too. But it's kind of like when your kid turns like 13, 14, I don't know. I don't want to become the movie police. But I let my 14-year-old and we watched Tombstone the other night. Mm-hmm. It's one of the greatest movies ever. And that doesn't mean that he gets to watch every rated R movie that ever went out there. Yeah. I get to curate it. I'm his dad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right? And so all that to say is you don't owe an apology to anybody. Your 12-year-old is supposed... Let me say this as boldly as I can. If your 12-year-old likes you all the time, you're probably not parenting well.
Yeah, true.
Right? The research says firm parenting with love. Mm-hmm. I will hold very firm boundaries, very high expectations, and you will always know that I love you to the end of time. Overly permissive parents destroy their kids. Overly critical, overly strict parents with no connection or love destroy their kids. It's the one in the middle. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I can't give you any peace on your 12-year-old getting mad and going to bed. Yeah. Especially when he says this. Tell me he says this. I'm not going to have any friends. Nobody calls me anymore because I can't do anything. You guys are keeping me from having any sort of friends, and I'm lonely. All that. Yeah. Yeah. We've compromised where we will let him go when it's a weekend and his buddies are together, and we'll go and pick him up at, like you said, 11 o'clock at night. And he just gets frustrated that we're taking him from, and we're so firm and really wanting to stick to our guns on protecting him. So. Yeah. I don't know if protecting, I guess that's the right word. For some reason, when you said that, it rubs me the wrong way. I don't know that it's protecting them as much as it's my job to make sure they remain as much as possible in environments where they can make successful choices. Yeah, yeah. My goal isn't to make all the choices for my kids. Mm-hmm. My goal is especially when they're younger, and of course this increasingly opens up as they get older, I want to make sure that I'm curating environments where if they make a wrong choice, it ends in a broken arm, not a pregnancy.
Yeah.
It ends in somebody, I don't know, falling out of a tree and breaking their foot or their ankle, and not them having to go see a sexual abuse counselor 15 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Or seeing things in their mind that they can never unsee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? So I'm not going to pick the movie for them, but I'm going to make sure that it's like voir dire and for jury selection. I'm not going to pick the movie I'll watch, but I'm going to get rid of these because you're not watching those.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I just want to give them environments where they can make successful choices. And after 11 o'clock, I mean, really? The only thing to do is to watch a movie you're not supposed to watch, or stay up so late that you're useless the next day.
Yep.
You're 12. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're in college, make those choices. Knock your lights out.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think you're on the right path. You've got my stamp of approval. You're a good mom, good dad. Stick to your guns.
Awesome. Thank you.
And when your kid doesn't like you, I think it's fair to say, I know this is the worst. I know it. It's the worst.
Yeah.
And you are right to be frustrated with us, and you are right to feel like we were taking away everything. I totally get that. Feel free to tell your friends that we're the worst, but my job is to keep you safe and put you in positions where you can make the best choices.
Yep. I like that.
You don't love me. You're okay. Right? Okay.
Yep.
And I'll leave you with this. I won't say which kid, because I think both my kids are getting old enough now where their friends are like, is your dad on? Right. But my wife and I took a long walk the other night. And it was a bummer because we were doing something pretty cool, and we've got to hold one of our kids accountable, which means we have a really cool thing planned and they're not going to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually bums us out because doing it with them would have been the best. And my wife was Dr. Delony long before me. She's a maestro with K-12 kids, and I do this for a living. And we still had to walk around the neighborhood for a couple of miles, just both talking out loud, but we were really circling grief. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hold him accountable. I don't want to hold her accountable. I just want to blow it off.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be dishonoring and not loving my son and my daughter. Right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So just know it's never going to feel good. But often doing the right thing doesn't feel good. But we do it because it's right. So high five to you, Annie. And parents, if you're like, who cares? Just sleep over. Times have changed.